Breaking news, an active shooter situation happening right now on the campus of Michigan State University. Video just into our newsroom shows frightened students walking out of a residence hall, hands in the air. We can tell you at this point, as we come up on 10 o'clock, at least one person is dead, and a gunman at last report on foot and still on the loose.
This is one of the largest campuses in the country, and right now it is on lockdown. According to MSU campus police, the first reports of shots fired came in around 7:30 Central Time at Berkey Hall, 8:30 there. A second shooting was reported about 50 minutes later at IM East Recreation Center on campus. Right now, we don't know how many people have been hurt, but again, multiple sources are reporting at least one person has died.
Michigan State University police are scheduled to hold a news briefing at any moment now. We saw them preparing for it. Here's the image from that location right now. And as soon as that news briefing begins, we will be sure to bring it to you. In the meantime, let's bring in CBS 2's Jermont Terry. Jermont, I know you've been in touch with some folks who have connections to students at Michigan State from Chicago.
Yeah, I have, Joe and Eric. And as you mentioned, around 7:30 Chicago time, the first call of shots fired came into the campus police at Michigan State University. And since that original call, police have been to several areas around the East Lansing campus for multiple shots fired. MSU is approximately 3.5 hours from Chicago. At this hour, the university confirms, as you mentioned, one person has died. We don't know if this was a student, faculty member, or someone simply visiting the campus. But we do know an estimated 50,000 students attend MSU. There are multiple police agencies, including federal authorities, who are currently on campus. They include the FBI, ATF, and Michigan State Police. Students were told to shelter in place and get in run, hide, fight mode. Run means evacuate away from danger if you can't do it safely. Hide means to secure in place. And fight means protect yourself if no other option. I spoke to the grandfather of a young lady who's a sophomore at MSU. Richard Ross lives on the south side of Chicago. He tells me he's beyond worried tonight. Listen as he describes what his granddaughter is going through at this moment.
She feels safe. She's scared. She's, I guess they've told all the students to stay in place. She barricaded her door, and she's hiding in a closet. But obviously, she's petrified. No, I'm scared. I'm glued to the TV right now. I called her once and spoke to her and told her to stay. Do what the police are saying. I want her to be safe. I would hope that God would help everybody and, put an end to this.
And as it stands, that gunman is still on the run. In this 10 o'clock hour, there is still a threat to the MSU campus. Tonight, again, one person confirmed dead and multiple others are injured, taken to local hospitals. So many people are waiting to get word that their loved ones are safe. And parents and grandparents like Richard Ross on the south side will not be sleeping well. And we're going to now go live to this press conference at East Lansing in Michigan, where authorities are briefing us. Let's listen in.
Information as we can, but that information may change as it's preliminary. This incident started this evening around 8:18 p.m. at Berkey Hall on campus. We received multiple 911 calls of a shooting inside Berkey Hall. Numerous officers responded. We were quickly on scene within minutes. And there we did locate several victims of a shooting. The incident did move to a building in close proximity, the Michigan State University Union building, where there was another report of a shooting immediately following the first incident. Police and emergency responders acted quickly. We tended to the victims at both of those scenes, and there was an overwhelming law enforcement response to campus to help with this situation. I can confirm that there were at least 5 victims. All 5 victims were transported to the hospital. Some of those victims do have life-threatening injuries. The suspect in this incident, and we believe there to be one suspect, was last seen leaving the MSU Union on foot out of the north side of that building. We are just receiving surveillance footage of that suspect that we will be releasing shortly. Initial information is that the suspect is a black male, shorter in stature, wearing red shoes, a jean jacket, and a ball cap. And we will follow up with additional descriptors of that suspect. Community members on and off campus should remain sheltered in place. We immediately launched our emergency notification system and advised the entire MSU campus to shelter in place as this suspect is still outstanding. For people on campus, please do not come to campus. I can't say that enough. For parents, we understand. I can only imagine the emotion that's involved right now. It's going to help us, and it's going to help our response, and it's going to help us identify the shooter, the less people that are on campus at this point. Please do not come to campus. We are doing everything we can to ensure the safety of our campus and all of our students. We currently have hundreds of police officers and law enforcement officials, state, local, and federal, on campus working in a coordinated effort to ensure the safety of campus and identify and apprehend the suspect. All campus activities will be canceled for the next 48 hours, including sporting events, classes, and all campus-related activities. Please follow our Twitter page for updates. We are sharing live updates at that location. I can't stress this enough. You're probably hearing a lot of information and misinformation right now from social media, the scanner, calls that we're receiving that are not accurate. We strongly encourage you to follow the accurate information source, and we will continue to provide as many updates and accurate updates as we can. There has been false reports of additional shootings. There has been false reports of the suspect seen in numerous different locations. Those reports are not accurate. Please follow us for accurate information. As I said, we're very early on in this investigation. It remains ongoing, and we are going to continue to meet back here and provide updates on the hour. We wanted to provide as much accurate information as possible right now, and we will continue to do that moving forward. As I said, information is very preliminary at this point, and we are working very hard to gather that information, to accurately get it out to our community, to students, to parents, and to everybody who needs that information. Please know that the safety and security of this campus and our students is our absolute priority at this point. We will meet back here at midnight for an additional update. We will push out some information, including a photograph of the suspect that we just obtained immediately following this briefing. Thank you, and we'll see you back here in an hour.
So we've been listening in to the interim deputy chief for the MSU Police Department there, giving us some new information. They said they'll have another update in less than an hour, but what we're hearing so far is that there are at least 2 scenes here where shots were fired and victims were seen on the scene. First, starting at Berkey Hall, where those calls came in at approximately 7:30 our time, and then that gunman moving to a separate location, what he's now referring to as the MSU Union. There, they were treating at least 5 victims, and we did hear aware of at least unfortunately, one fatality at this time. One of the big messages out of this is do not come to campus. We can understand, though, that with so many terrified families wanting to find their students, but at this point, they are still trying to secure the area, and it is still a shelter-in-place situation on lockdown.
Well, the other thing that stood out to me, too, I guess, first that we know now that the shooting at Berkey Hall happened inside. It was unclear whether it was outside or inside. We do know now after that briefing that it happened inside, that police arrived there within minutes. There were several victims. The other discrepancy that they talked about in there was that the second location was believed to be the student campus rec center,
right.
IM East, but we know now that was not the case and that the second shooting location was at the Union. 5 victims transported, some of them with life-threatening injuries. The suspect left on foot and as of now is still on the run.
And within minutes, they said that after this press conference that they just had, they would be releasing within minutes a photo of this suspect. Right now, it's such general information that we don't have enough to give a specific description. But as we get that information about him, that surveillance image, they say they do have him leaving the north side of MSU Union. We will bring that to you.
We'll continue to watch this as we proceed over the next 20 minutes, and we will bring you certainly any new updates as soon as we get them.